Right. Good day, good evening, all. So we continuing with the prayers, the Sunday hour prayers. Right. Om bu punatu sharsi, om buva punatu nature, om swa punatu kante, om maha punatu herde, om jana punatu nabiam, om tapa punatu pari, om satyam punatu puna sharsi, om kambam punatu sarvatra. This means, may you, O Supreme Being, source of energy, light, power, purify and strengthen my brains, eyes, throat, heart, and legs. May you purify our intellect and our entire body. Om Rita Satyan Chabidata Soda Jayata Tatora Tre Jayata Tata Samujna Arnava. The Vedas and the universal laws of nature, which control the universe and govern the cycles of creation and dissolution, were made manifest by the all knowing one. By his great power, produce the clouds and vapors. Right? So I'll stop there where this is concerned. As I said, I'll progress as the days go by. Right? What I really wanted to talk about today, apart from this, is an experience which I will not look into the camera and talk. I have it written down because this is now my field of study. Right? This is more on the scientific end. As you all know, I'm more sociology. I am more on the side of morality and sociology. Right? So what I will talk about is partially what I had experienced, continuing from that past video that I made. Right, so it's a partial experience of what I experienced, and many others who were what is called targeted individuals. Right, so we're talking about, I would have mentioned this thing about technological manipulation in my previous video. So this is about the experiences of targeted individuals like myself, because I was targeted 2022 to now, and it's still ongoing. Right, so is this what I'm talking about is via electronic or technological harassment. Right, now this, I was doing research on this because this is what I've been experiencing. Right, and I don't know, and frankly I don't care. Right, was the source of the article to give them credit or not, because the fact is I am the one experiencing the shit, and if I see information about it, I do business. Right, and everybody should do the same. If you've been experiencing certain things and you know it is coming from an unnatural source and you find information online, you don't give a fuck. Right, don't bother, right, to even care. Just share the information because you are the one experiencing it at the end of the day. Right, so whatever it is, this torturous routines of head and body electromagnetic stimulation, intense sudden contractions of muscle fibers equivalent to painful stimulus of being hit on various parts of your body. Right, so this is one of the things that I've been experiencing. For example, it would be like the experience of someone clouting you. So what this is like, and you're hearing the voices behind it, because I explained the situation with the voices multiple times. So while this is happening, right, I'm hearing it. Right, so it's like this. It is the feeling of somebody clouting you like this, like that. Right, so your head going so, and the voice is going like, you're too dirty for this knowledge, you're too dirty for this knowledge. Right, that's the experience of it. Right, electromagnetic stimulation, sudden contractions of muscle fibers equivalent to painful stimulus. Now, it's not exactly a painful experience, that aspect of it, but it's highly irritating. Right, so, and this happens like throughout the day regularly. Right, good. So intense heating, burning, or itching sensations. Right, so that's another thing I experienced, and they would call it judgment. They would fabricate whatever they want to fabricate, admonishment, whatever is technology being used. Right, so I've experienced that burning sensation on my tongue, burning, itching on my hands, because they would tell you, hey, you gotta wash this 5 times a day. Hey, you gotta wash this on your foot 5 times a day. Right, so whatever it is, they call it admonishment. Right, they call it punishment, they call it whatever. I know I've gone through, even before this whole incident came out, I know I passed through in my life my consequence already. Right, So this is why I'm speaking out, because I know I'm going through enough pain to compensate for whatever pain I have caused in my life already, right? And that is why I'm being open about this information, right? So intense heating, burner, itching sensations, right? So yeah, I've been experiencing that and hearing the voices at the same time. It's too dirty for this, it's too dirty for that, right? I've been hearing all those things. Artificial tinnitus, right? You all could research what the hell tinnitus is, right? Whatever, if all you want to call it, ringing in your ears, all I'm thinking is a fraud, is a scam, right? So hearing the tinnitus thing might be real. What I'm saying is this ascension thing, or whatever it is all you want to call it, all I'm saying is not real, right? So mental manipulation, external voices being repeated to you at intervals, right? So yeah, at intervals. Now it would appear to you that is 24/7, or it appear to me as a 24/7, or it may very well be 24/7. Point about is the amount of time they repeat that throughout the months, it gets stuck in your head, and that's all you keep hearing, right? So whether they're actually repeating it 24/7 or they're repeating it at intervals, that is the only thing you keep hearing in your head, wherever they keep playing, right? Silent torturing, right? Silent torture, right? So one of the things I've been experiencing is very, very, very often during the day, and this is obviously not a mind thing because it's a physical experience of your heart being squeezing out as though you're getting a heart attack or whatever, right? And they call it heart purification, heart cleansing. But at the end of the day, you end up being more angry and sick than anybody else because of that experience, right? Not because of who you was originally, right? So the point is to make you develop an uncontrollable rage, right? This is probably what happened to people like Mark Passio and so on, right? People who develop an uncontrollable rage, right? I don't know if this was his experience, but this is just a naive assumption, right? So I could understand that if that is what happened to him, right? The development of an uncontrollable rage because of the situation and the fact and the reality that there's nothing really you could do to stop it except do very little things to try to help yourself, because this is an experience beyond your control, right? This electronic technological harassment is an experience that is beyond your control, right? So, and hopefully speaking about it put a stop to this nonsense, right? So silent torture, and there's, right, so there's very, very rare somebody would actually, you can't really talk to this about anybody. That's why I just sharing it there. Whoever see it, whoever want to understand it, right? So tomorrow I will discuss something else, or another factor, or another experience coming out of this experience, right? Thank you for listening to my videos. By the way, I very much appreciate that somebody would care enough to click on this experience to try to understand what this thing is really about.